All right, the next file we're going to try to make is one that's going to show us where things are or what parts went together to make this. So again, we're going to do create up here a new, and it's a standard.idw, and we're going to create that. And then this time you're going to put in a base view again. And if I scroll over here to see what I'm looking at, we want one that kind of shows all the pieces. So one of these isometric views, and I would look for one that looks kind of like it's sitting there. So we're going to do an isometric view, and it just put it in there. So I'm going to right click and say OK, and now it's here. Again, I can move that by just dragging in the box, not clicking on one of the lines, but clicking on the box and clicking and holding and dragging it around. Two things I need to add to this picture. One's going to be the part list and one's going to be the part labels. So I'm going to do annotate. And over in the table view here, I have a choice that says parts list. When I click on parts list, it's going to ask what document it should do a parts list for. So I need to go into my files and find my pegboard assembly and open it. And then everything else is fine. So I'm going to click OK. And I have to say where I want that parts list to go. So I'm going to click and it's going to put it in place. Now if I zoom in, you're going to see that basically what it's done is it's listed what pieces we put together in order to make our pegboard. So item 1 is the pegboard, item 2 was the round peg, item 3 is the square peg. If yours aren't in that exact order, it's not a big deal. You're just saying what you put together in order to make your toy. The next thing we want to do is to add balloons, again in the table tab, to show what those things are. So I'm going to do balloon. Item 1 was the pegboard, so I want to click someplace on the pegboard and drag to the side and double click. It's going to put a little 1 labeling to there. Item 2 was the round peg, so I'm going to click onto the round peg and drag to the side. Oops, double click, and it's going to put a little 2 on there. Item 3 is a square peg. Click on the square peg, drag to the side, and it's going to put a 3 on there. So now I've labeled, here's my pegboard, here's my round peg, here's my square peg. Right click. Oops. I can just click off of the balloons at the top. Next thing I'm going to do is to add some description here. So if I, oops, there we go, right click and cancel to get off more balloons. If I click into my box over here, notice when I hover over it, I get some green dots and it turns red. And I double click, it's going to open up that parts list in the assembly file, and it allows me to edit these boxes. So I can put a description in here. This is the main part of the toy. It includes the base and the 2 legs to hold the toy up. So you can put your description in there of what the pegboard is, the round peg you could put in, and the square peg you could put in, and then you click apply to change it and OK to lock it in. So you can add more description to your file. When you're done with these, you can export them as PDFs. So I could do export this this drawing file as a PDF, and then save it in that format, and it makes it look like this. And then that PDF I can attach directly to the assignment in Google Classroom. So when you make your PDF, then you can attach it right to the assignment instead of having to do a screenshot of it and then attach it.